Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Christy. I'm a homeschool mom to 3 kids, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some tips to help make your homeschool day run a little bit smoother. We all know with homeschooling that not every day is easy, not every day runs super smoothly, not every day is everybody motivated and happy to do their schoolwork. However, there are some things I find that if I do for my day, it helps make our days go a little bit smoother. My first tip has to do with homeschooling when you have little toddlers tagging along. I recommend trying to involve your littlest ones with school as much as possible. If you have a preschooler doing some sort of activity, involve your toddler in that activity as well. They may not be able to do the activity exactly, but if you got the paint out, you might as well give them some paint to get creative with too. If for some reason you can't involve your toddler in an aspect of homeschooling, I definitely recommend filling their cup first. I try to spend time in the morning filling my toddler's cup. So I will snuggle with her on the couch, I will read her some books, I will spend some focused time with her so that she doesn't feel as left out when I have to give the other two more focused time. Going along with homeschooling toddlers, I have 2 words for you: sensory play. All of the sensory things. Sensory play is gold when it comes to homeschooling with toddlers. You give them a bucket of rice or beans or Play-Doh, kinetic sand, some little buckets or scoops to transfer, some tongs, maybe some little toys, and they will have so much fun with it. You don't have to spend a lot of money to create sensory bins. You don't have to spend a lot of time or plan out like a themed sensory bin. A lot of our sensory items are from the dollar store, and you can really kind of create sensory bins very easily and very cheaply. I oftentimes will just pour a bunch of beans in a bucket and give her some scoops and she's good to go. So don't feel like you have to have these elaborate designs or anything. And sensory play has been so beneficial for homeschool. 1, they're learning a ton by doing it, and then 2, it occupies them forever. Another tip I have for you is to create a homeschool atmosphere. And by this I mean there are some little things that you can do in your atmosphere for homeschooling that help make your day start smoother. One thing that I really like to do is make sure that the table is cleared off and ready to go. Anything that we need is all prepared and out and ready to go. I like to put on some quiet acoustic music because my kids really enjoy that, and I find that it kind of helps to create calmness in their behavior, just having the calm music going. Sometimes the music is enough to kind of occupy my toddler as well. She loves music, and so oftentimes she'll go and sit down quietly, play with the Magna-Tiles, or she'll kind of dance and sway with her dolls or something like that. And it just kind of helps cultivate a calm atmosphere throughout. My daughter really loves when I make her a cup of tea first thing in the morning. Like, it's crazy how her mood shifts and her motivation shifts when I just start her day with a simple hot drink. She just feels better and is more willing to do her schoolwork. Another thing with atmosphere is to make sure that your phone, TV, tablets are all off and put away. I find that my kids really need my attention and my focus, and if I'm being distracted by my phone with an email or a phone call or a text message or social media notification of some kind, they start getting distracted and they get really frustrated, and it just kind of tears apart our day. So I really try to spend very, very present time with them during our school time and really put distractions away. Obviously, I do pick up my phone when I want to grab little clips of what we're doing throughout the day, just to share with you guys, and they don't seem bothered by that. But if I'm just sitting there looking at my phone constantly, or walking away to do something, it's just not helpful to them and they get really frustrated. So that is what I mean by an atmosphere. Just set the day up for a day of learning. Another tip that I have for you is to analyze your day. Find the time of day that is kind of your sweet spot. When is the time during the day when everyone is relatively in a good mood, feeling motivated, feeling energized? And that is the time of the day that you should do your homeschooling. For us personally, we really like to homeschool in the morning. I find that the later the day goes, if it gets past lunchtime and we still haven't started school, it's really hard for us to kind of rein in and start school that late. And people have bad attitudes, we're just not motivated. And so I know that that morning time, those morning hours are important to get our schoolwork in. For some people though, the afternoons may be that sweet spot. It may be the time that people are in better moods. Maybe mornings aren't good. Maybe mornings are hard. And afternoons are when everybody feels energized and motivated and happy. That's when you should do school. There's no rule that says you have to do homeschool in the morning or a specific time of the day. Just wherever it works for you, that's what you should do. Another tip that I have for you is to set up your kids' independent work ahead of time. So for us in particular with math, I don't make her do every single math problem in the lesson. And so what I'll do is I'll highlight all of the problems that I want her to complete. And that way it's really laid out and straightforward on what she needs to do. Obviously, if there's a new concept that I need to teach her, we will go through that together, but still having those highlighted marks really kind of just lays it out. She knows what to expect and then she can move on and do it. And I find that as my kids get older, I want to foster some of that independence, so doing it this way really helps. And so I'll do that for her so that she knows exactly what to be expecting. Another tip that I have for you are to utilize manipulatives and whiteboards. Whiteboards are kind of funny because they're like a kid magnet. For some reason, kids love whiteboards, chalkboards, anything that's like different than just writing on a piece of paper. And I find that my daughter is so much more willing to work her math problems, to write her spelling words, to diagram sentences, whatever it may be. She's so much more willing to do that on a whiteboard versus pencil and paper. So I try to make sure to give her that opportunity because it just goes a lot smoother when she's just allowed to do that. So we have that. Manipulatives, I find if you have a hands-on learner, they're so beneficial because they can feel it and see it when they're working through something. And I know some people see manipulatives as kind of like a con, but I do not. I think that kids should be able to use manipulatives for their entire life. Like I still count on my fingers. I think they should be able to too if they need to. And I think that having manipulatives, helping them kind of work through things, is going to make things go so much smoother. Use 100 charts when you need to. Use multiplication charts. My daughter has a multiplication chart that we tuck into her math book so that it's there for her to use so that she doesn't get frustrated, overwhelmed, or shut down if she can't remember what 8 times 3 is. So I think you kind of have to gauge what makes your day run smoother and kind of pick and choose your battles. Do you want them to 100% master all of their math facts, no give or take and anything? Or do you want them to have a tool to utilize if they really get stuck before the frustration really sets in? Another tip I have for you is to utilize audiobooks. We all know as a homeschool mom, as a teacher, you are reading a lot. You're using your voice a lot. You're reading read alouds, you're reading, lessons, you're teaching lessons, explaining things, discussions, whatever it may be, working through things. Your voice takes a lot of toll. I like to download an audiobook and put it on a Bluetooth speaker, and then I don't feel like I have to shout or read over my little ones playing and stuff, because sometimes my little ones have a hard time being quiet during read aloud time, and I just have to get louder, and it's really hard to do that. And so I find that using audiobooks and a Bluetooth speaker is so nice for everybody. It also gives them somebody else to listen to besides my voice all the time. My last tip for you is one of the most beneficial tips. It's quiet time. If you don't utilize quiet time, I highly encourage you to try it out. And with quiet time, basically, it's a time of the day. Ours usually comes about 1 o'clock after we're done with homeschooling, after we're done with lunch. The kids go into their bedrooms and they find quiet activities to do. I like to put them separate so that they each have quiet time away to themselves and a break from each other too, because if they spend too much time together, the arguing. So it gives them some time away, time separate. It helps foster independent play because they have to occupy themselves without being entertained. It gives them time to decompress. Sometimes my older two choose to use quiet time together and they will play something quietly together in one of the bedrooms, and I'm fine with that as well. My littlest one goes in her room too, and we just started doing quiet time with her like a couple months ago. So it hasn't been too long because she's almost 3. And so she goes in her room and it teaches her to play independently. And she oftentimes takes a nap. And my littlest one has stopped taking naps. She stopped a long time ago. She refuses. But with quiet time, she does it on her own. And so she gets that nap in without it feeling like nap time. And so everybody gets rest. It gives me a break because for me, I'm an introvert, and the noise and everybody shouting and just everything going on at once can be very overwhelming to me. And so having that time, that break for a minute, it gives me a chance to clean up all of our homeschool stuff, put paint away, scraps of paper, put the books and the curriculum away, clean up dishes from throughout the day, lunchtime, and that kind of thing, and tidy things up and kind of reset the main area of the house. And I really, really like having that as well. And so I think there's a lot of benefits to quiet time, and quiet time can vary. You can set how much time you think that you want in your home, in your own home. For us, it's about an hour, and obviously, if the little kids fall asleep, then it's usually longer for them, but it's about an hour, and that's when I get all of that done. Sometimes I edit videos I need to do, sometimes I film like I'm doing right now, and it's just things that I need to get done for a time and without interruptions and like noise and loudness. So it's good for everybody, and I highly encourage you to maybe try it out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that some of these tips were helpful in helping you to maybe have a smoother homeschool day. I'll see you guys in another video very soon. Bye.